Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Opposition raises concerns over proposed Guyana deportee deal. Not a game of chess, says Magistrate Latchman. Mohamed's extradition hearing pushed to February 5 and 6. New Market Street vendors agree to relocate temporarily. And man caught on camera in revenge shooting. Police to issue wanted bulletin. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Thursday, November 8, 2026 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. A possible US-Guyana agreement on third country deportees and refugees is drawing criticism from opposition leaders. Tiana Cole opens her broadcast with this story.
With Ghana engaged in advanced talks with the United States on a possible agreement to accept third country deportees and refugees, the leader of the People's National Congress Reform (PNCR), Aubrey Norton, has raised serious concerns. Norton said Guyana is already an ethnically diverse society with its own internal challenges and warned that additional migration could further strain social cohesion and limited resources.
If you have migrants coming who you don't know who they are, where they are coming from, and you know for a fact that they are not part of your culture, you would need to have a migration policy that allows you to get in your country who you desire to have.
Norton cautioned that agreements may promise that deportees are not criminals, but said Guyana lacks the capacity to properly verify such claims.
I am not opposed to migration, but I oppose to us taking deportees willy-nilly. Guyanese deportees, I think we are compelled to take them. But I'm saying to you, that should not extend to any state being able to send who they want, when they want, how they want.
He added that Ghana needs a structured migration policy that ensures migrants contribute to national development rather than becoming a burden on the state.
We are already arguing in Guyana that even with oil, the resources are not meeting the people.
Meanwhile, We Invest National Win in a statement said it is opposed to any agreement for Guyana to accept third country nationals from the United States. Win expressed concern over the absence of transparency, parliamentary oversight, and public consultation, and questioned how Guyana's already strained infrastructure would cope with additional migrants. The group said it will not support any such agreement unless there is full disclosure, National Assembly scrutiny, and a clear plan that prioritizes the well-being of Guyanese citizens. Also, the Forward Guyana movement, in a statement from its leader, Amanda Walton Desire, said if the government believes such an agreement is in the national interest, it must publish the proposed terms, lay the matter before Parliament, and allow full public debate. She said the agreement should also undergo security and economic impact assessments and include wide consultation, warning that secrecy undermines democracy and Guyana's sovereignty. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Dr. David Hines believes the government was caught between a rock and a hard place and has no choice but to accept the United States offer of taking third-party deportees. Marvin Cato will tell you more.
I will be meeting with Rubio to talk about how Guyana can be guaranteed its safety in a hostile neighborhood.
That was Member of Parliament and leader of the Working People's Alliance, Dr. David Hines, who believes that the government has nothing to leverage due to its alleged corrupt nature. Hence, they have to accept third-party deportees from the United States.
America has the military, political, and economic wherewithal to protect and advance its interests. Guyana has interest. Migrants spilling over the border.
Dr. Hines was candid. He pointed out that the government, having seen what transpired in Venezuela over the weekend, cannot say no to any requests by the U.S. to send non-Guyanese who are in violation of U.S. immigration laws here. He was adamant that the government is compromised and the U.S. is using its power to leverage the government to accept third-party deportees.
But Guyana does not have the military capacity to protect its own interest. And that is where the difference is.
He is also of the view that if the government had taken a bipartisan approach to the issue and included all opposition parties in negotiations, they would not have found themselves in the position they are currently in. Their transactional behavior has now come to haunt them, and the U.S. has them under duress, he contends. He is accusing the government of advancing its own domestic agenda instead of the nation's interests because of the leverage the U.S. has on them. The Trump administration is seeking Guyana's help in taking refugees and other skilled migrants who would have breached U.S. immigration laws, and their home countries are not willing to accept them. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Magistrate Judy Latchman has allowed a late statement submitted by Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd to be tendered and filed in the ongoing extradition proceedings, but not without stern warnings to the prosecution. Here is more. The one-page statement, introduced as fresh evidence, immediately drew objections from defense attorney Cyan Dujon, who argued that it amounted to a new disclosure at an advanced stage of the proceedings. He told the court that the defense was entitled to clarity and certainty and asked that the requesting state be compelled to give a firm commitment that no further evidence would be introduced. Dujon further argued that, on a preliminary review, the statement appeared to be attempting to patch a gap in the prosecution's case. He contended that the prosecution had previously failed to lay proper foundational evidence through Sharon Rubchand Edwards, and that allowing the new statement at this time would be tantamount to an abuse of the court's process. In light of the late disclosure, Dujon asked the court to close further disclosures and requested an adjournment to allow the defense adequate time to examine and respond to the new material, which was granted by the magistrate.
So yes, the minister will be thoroughly cross-examined by each of us. You can rest assured.
I asked the prosecution whether the minister's statement is of evidential value or is it merely diplomatic, and he says it's formal. Do you believe so?
Well, you can call a rose by any other name. It's still as sweet. Whether it's formal evidence or informal evidence, evidence is evidence.
However, Prosecutor Terrence Williams tried to push back, insisting that the prosecution was entitled to disclose all relevant evidence. He told the court that he was unaware of any legal authority requiring leave to be granted for such disclosures and accused the defense of making a mountain out of a molehill.
No, this is a big song and dance over a very trivial, formal issue. Very trivial, formal issue, and a lot is being made of by defense counsel regarding it. But in the long run, all things will prevail.
After hearing both sides, Magistrate Latchman ruled that the statement would be admitted and filed, but made it clear that the prosecution should have disclosed the document earlier. She firmly warned that the court would not tolerate trial by ambush, reminding the prosecution that the process was not a game of chess and that they had ample time to get their case in order. The magistrate further ordered that there will be no further disclosures in the matter and adjourned the proceedings to February 5 and 6, given the defense time to study the newly admitted statement. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
I'm sorry. I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home. Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Guys, y'all know the song? A rich man may want for the Christmas. Favorite song.
All right, Max, everybody, it's time for me to go.
You're leaving already? Be safe on the road, you know. Don't drink and drive.
Nah, Auntie Grace, I would never do that. Christmas is about joy, not accidents. Real talk. Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. In this developing story, Antonio Day reports that following a demand letter issued to the Mayor and City Council requesting the removal of vendors operating near the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, these vendors have been offered temporary relocation.
According to attorneys that were reviewed by the Council, vendors operating in close proximity to the Georgetown Public Hospital were requested on Wednesday to relocate temporarily to a nearby lot for 1 week, while the Mayor City Council finalizes preparations for the East Street parking lot.
After meeting with him, he is also very flexible in us at least finding a very satisfying option of persons not necessarily vending in that particular block, but away from there where I think there's a parking lot close by at East Street.
Mayor Mentor acknowledged that remedial action was necessary for the area in question and emphasized that compliance is essential to avoid obstructing ambulances or entry to Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. This immediate measure aims to ensure smooth traffic flow within this sensitive area and aligns with a previous agreement established by the Council. Mentor noted too that alongside Acting Town Clerk Candice Nelson, councillors, the CEO of the Georgetown Public Hospital, Mr. Robbie Rambaran, and other senior GPHC administrators, an agreement had been reached to relocate unoccupied stalls and caravans, thereby making room for a permanent vending area adjacent to the East Street parking lot. Mentor said that vendors involved in these discussions demonstrated cooperation and expressed support for the authorities' position. He affirmed that safety and the preservation of life remain paramount.
So they've also cooperated with us, agreed with us that it's necessary that we do this and that we shouldn't compromise the integrity and the safety of that particular street.
It was further agreed that vendors occupying space in front of the hospital must adhere to the Council's directive, and failure to comply will necessitate administrative action. The chief citizen stated that to prevent court proceedings, it was essential to reach a compromise that would safeguard the interests of both the vendors and the GPHC. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
On the police blotter, a man is still hospitalized with serious gunshot injuries, while police hunt for his shooter, who is well known to them. Ranks of the Criminal Investigations Department are in the process of preparing a wanted bulletin for a 23-year-old vendor identified as Elijah McKenzie, also known as Lash Up, in connection with a daylight shooting in Sapphire, an incident that was never reported by police to the media, despite a man being shot multiple times. The suspect, Elijah McKenzie of Thomas Street, Kitty, was caught on video opening fire on 28-year-old vendor Kevin Thomas on the morning of December 30, 2025, outside Thomas's home at Afield, Sapphire. According to police records, the shooting occurred around 9 a.m. as Thomas was about to exit his yard through a western gate. Investigators say Mackenzie approached from the south, pulled a silver handgun, and discharged several rounds, striking Thomas 3 times in the left thigh. Thomas collapsed to the ground as the gunman fled the scene. Police say the suspect escaped south through an alleyway leading to Guy Hawk Bridge, where he mounted a black and red XR motorcycle, registration number unknown, and rode off east along Guy Hawk Road. Multiple sources have revealed that the shooting is believed to have stemmed from an earlier altercation on December 24, 2025, when the victim's stepbrother, Kevin George, was involved in a fight with the suspect at the market. During that confrontation, police say the victim intervened to separate the men, and the suspect was allegedly chopped to the face. 6 days later, bullets were fired. 3 9mm spent shells were recovered and sent to the ballistic section for examination. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Antonio Day tells us that Dr. Curtin is proposing the establishment of a petrocaricum, which aids in the use of facilities of oil-producing Caribbean territories like Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad to promote energy stability and security in the hemisphere.
Amid the recent military strikes on Venezuela by the United States and capture of President Nicolas Maduro, many foreign relation experts fear that if not approached pragmatically, many critical sectors, such as energy, would be impacted. While this recent occurrence has sparked apprehension for those suppliers in the energy sector, Dr. Mark Curtin, director of the Center for International and Border Studies, is proposing the establishment of petrocaricum. He explained to Nightly News during an interview how this will be beneficial.
That would not only remove some of the questions related to the shortfall of supply to the small states of the Eastern Caribbean, but it also impact positively on regional integration, and energy security.
Dr. Curtin, who is known for his academic research and publications in regional integration, Latin American politics and development, is proposing an initiative similar to Petrocaribe. Petrocaribe was a 2005 oil alliance led by Venezuela under Hugo Chavez, offering Caribbean and Central American nations subsidized oil with flexible long-term financing. It aimed to boost regional development, energy security, and trade. Example, rights for oil, by easing fuel costs for members like Jamaica, Haiti, and Guyana. This initiative fell apart by 2019 due to Venezuela's declining oil production, U.S. sanctions, and internal corruption. Dr. Curtin said that given the demands in the oil market and declining prices, the promotion of peace and stability should be prioritized. He believes that Petrocaricum framework can rekindle the existing divergence among most Caribbean states.
And that may influence the thinking of Trinidad again, the use of their refinery facilities in Petrotrin and so forth, and bringing back that convergence of interests among Caribbean states.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025 and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE, apply for a transfer if you've changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the required original source documents: birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Sunday, January 18, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We don't want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. As tensions persist in Venezuela, concerns are growing locally about Guyana's preparedness for potential migrant influx. Leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, says the country must act now to avoid being caught off guard. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
But the situation in Venezuela remaining uncertain, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, Aubrey Norton, says Guyana must adopt a coordinated and structured approach to address the possibility of a migrant crisis. Speaking on the issue, Norton noted that the government should establish designated areas away from the populated communities to accommodate Venezuelan migrants. He said these facilities would allow authorities to properly screen migrants and manage the situation, rather than allowing individuals to enter and integrate into society without oversight.
But the bigger problem is that the government does not have a migration policy. And to the extent that you don't have a policy, the government apparatus is not guided as to what they should do. So one of the first things they need to do is develop a proper policy.
Norton further stressed that the need for a strong intelligence network to monitor developments and to engage key stakeholders locally, ensuring a unified national response.
If we can agree in principle that our most important question is the protection of our territorial integrity, then we should have an approach that is symptomatic of that, in a way in which we can always have continuous meeting at the parliamentary level, at the security level on this question of Venezuela, so we are on top of it and ahead of the game.
The PNCR leader also argued that the current administration is not data-driven, but instead motivated by economic opportunities and transactional benefits.
We need to shift to a point where we have governance that is premised on data. Governance that looks at the interests of the people of Guyana. Guyana needs an immigration policy badly.
According to Norton, a comprehensive migration policy is necessary for the government to maintain control over information and population movement, track activities effectively, and ensure that violations of the law are properly addressed through law enforcement mechanisms. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa on Wednesday led a team to Region 5, Mahaika Borbis, for the distribution of promised financial assistance to rice farmers. Marvin Cato will tell you more.
We have a number of farmers here who are collecting the $300 per bag of paddy that they would have sold to the mill.
That was Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Agriculture in Region 5, where more than $480.5 million in financial assistance was distributed to 1,618 rice farmers on Wednesday, as the government continues to provide direct support to strengthen the rice industry.
Besides the money that we are giving per bag for paddy, we have also do a number of investments in various areas in terms of DNI, farm to market road, other projects in the rice industry.
The minister reminded that and stabilize incomes in a challenging time for rice farmers. During the last production quarter, rice farmers were faced with many challenges, from a decline in the world market prices, flooding, and the lack of adequate storage. This intervention, according to the minister, forms part of a wide national program representing a total government investment of approximately $2.1 billion aimed at sustaining rice production, enhancing food security, and reinforcing the resilience of one of Guyana's most important sectors. Marvin Cato, reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Guys, y'all know the song? Latchman, me want for the Christmas. Favorite song.
All right, Max, everybody, I guess it's time for me to go.
You're leaving already? Be safe on the road, you know. Don't drink and drive.
Nah, Auntie Grace, I would never do that. Christmas is about joy, not accidents. Real talk. Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
Christmas at Survival Supermarket, and our year-end promotion is bigger than ever. For every $5,000 you spend, you can win one of 30 prizes. One of 4 Samsung double-door refrigerators, one of 4 Samsung washing machines, one of 4 Samsung 58-inch televisions, one of 4 Members Mark sofa sets, one of 4 portable music systems, one of 4 grocery vouchers valued $50,000 each, and one of 3 sets of car rims, and one of 3 trips to local resorts. The Survival Christmas promotion begins December 4th, with the final drawing on December 23rd, 2026, and the grand presentation on January 30th at our new Little Diamond Supermarket. Yes, this Christmas, spend $5,000 and enter to win fantastic prizes at all branches of Survival Supermarket. Happy holidays and great shopping to you all.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GCOM registration offices will open Mondays to Fridays from 8 to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I am Mentoring Day. We begin with news in Barbados. Convicted killer Raheem Travante Barnett has been sentenced to serve more than 33 years in prison for fatally shooting O'Neill Chase twice in the head on a public road. after a High Court judge deemed him a danger to society. Barnett of Regency Park, Christchurch, received a starting sentence of 40 years following his conviction on Chase's murder on October 5, 2019. However, after deductions for time on remand and case delays, Justice Laurie Ann Smith Bovell ordered that he serve 33 years and 107 days at Dodds Prison. Justice Smith Bovell outlined aggravating factors including the use of an illegal firearm, the unprovoked nature of the attack, the close-range headshots, the public setting which endangered others, and the fact that the firearm was never recovered. She also cited Chase's suffering before his death and the emotional toll on his relatives. Turning attention to news in Grenada. The government of Grenada wishes to reassure international partners, travelers, and the global community of Grenada's enduring status as a safe, secure, and desired destination for residents and visitors alike. In response to the recent Level 2 travel advisory issued by the United States government, the government of Grenada emphasizes that the country continues to enjoy a strong record of public safety, social stability, and effective law enforcement. Grenada has long been home to a significant and vibrant population of United States citizens, many of whom live, work, study, and invest in a tri-island state. These individuals are valued members of our communities and benefit from the same security protections and public services as all nationals and residents. And finally, with some international news. The fatal shooting of a 37-year-old Minnesota mother by a U.S. immigration agent has put the city of Minneapolis and much of the United States on edge, with the potential of becoming another flashpoint in a polarized country. State and federal officials offer starkly different accounts of the shooting, in which an unidentified officer killed U.S. citizen Renee Nicole Good in her car on Wednesday, while immigration officers were carrying out what federal officials have called the quote-unquote largest DHS operation ever by the Department of Homeland Security. Thanks for watching. I am Antonio Day. Goodbye for now, and do have an enjoyable rest of the evening.
Let's join Delvin Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Thursday, January 8, 2026. We begin tonight with motor racing. The Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club has confirmed that the South Dakota Circuit is set to host round 3 of the 2026 GT Challenge de las Americas Race Series on July 11th and 12th, marking a major milestone for Guyanese and regional motorsport. The event will represent the first FIA-sanctioned international racing series to compete in Guyana since the end of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship, elevating the nation's presence on the global racing stage. The race weekend is expected to feature GT3 spec cars from leading manufacturers including Ferrari, McLaren, Lamborghini, Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi, alongside elite Latin American drivers and engineers. Local representation will include veteran racer Mark Vera, Team AGM led by Nasruddin Mohamed Jr., and two-time CMRC Group 4 champion Christian Jeffrey. Into cricket, Guyanese fast bowler Shamar Joseph is set to return to action ahead of the upcoming Men's T20 World Cup after successfully recovering from a shoulder injury that kept him sidelined since September 2025. According to Cricket West Indies, the 26-year-old Barakar native who missed the recent tours to India and Bangladesh has resumed high-intensity training and is now bowling at full pace without any discomfort. His recovery places him in strong contention for selection as Cricket West Indies prepares to name its final World Cup squad. The 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup begins in February and will be co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. The West Indies are scheduled to open their campaign against Bangladesh in Kolkata on February 7th. Into horse racing, the Jumbo Jet Thoroughbred Racing Committee, in collaboration with Banks DIH Limited, have officially announced the provisional race program for Sunday, February 1st, 2026 at the Port Moran Turf Club. Branded as the Banks Classic Guyana Cup Nomination Series, the event represents the first and most lucrative official nomination day for the 2026 Guyana Cup, featuring a 10-race card with a combined purse of $12,750,000. The Feature Banks DIH Classic 1 mile race will be contested for a total purse of $3.7 million, while the Sprint Classic carries a total prize of $1.8 million. The F-Class and lower E-Class non-winners and imported maidens race will offer a total purse of $1.5 million, while the 3-year-old Guyana bred, the L-Class maidens and first-time starters events each feature a total prize of $937,000. The remaining G-Class and lower, F-Class non-winners, imported 3-year-old maidens, I-Class and lower, West Indian bred, J3 and lower, L-Class open and L-Class non-earners events will each run for a total purse of $750,000. Moving into athletics, the Athletics Association of Guyana will open its 2026 season with a cross-country race on January 17 at the Guyana Defence Force Ground in Georgetown. According to Vice President Niles Stanton, this year's main goals are increased international competition, greater athlete exposure, medals at major meets, and a stronger promotion for track and field to attract sponsors. The association is also heavily focused on lifting senior performances through structured programs with athletes, clubs, coaches, and managers. Development meets will be facilitated to improve fitness and prepare athletes for the 2026 Carifta Games in Grenada this April. Carifta trials are set for February 7th in Linden and on February 21st and 28th at the National Track and Field Center in Lenora. Finally, in basketball, the Guyana Basketball Federation will be launching the 2026 Schools Basketball League at the Transport Sports Club in Georgetown on Friday. An invitation has been extended to members of the media to attend the launch, which commences at 15 hours 30. The Schools Basketball League remains an important fixture on the local sporting calendar, continuing to nurture young talent and strengthen the foundation of basketball in Guyana. Over the years, the league has served as a key talent pipeline for national youth teams, senior clubs, and the Guyana National Basketball Program. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett reminding you to stay in the game.
Opposition raises concerns over proposed Guyana deportee deal. Not a game of chess, says Magistrate Latchman. Mohamed's extradition hearing pushed to February 5 and 6. New Market Street vendors agreed to relocate to temporary location until East Street parking lot location is finalized. And man caught on camera in revenge shooting. Police to issue wanted bulletin. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.